one of the reasons why Oklahoma lost on Saturday is because their defense showed severe signs of regression. At one point in the game, Kansas State was up 48-23. And a big part of that was how they were able to have a dominating performance on the ground in the game. Their running backs, James Gilbert and Jordan Brown, had 13 carries for 105 yards and 12 carries for 63 yards, respectively. So James Gilbert had 8.1 yards per carry, and Jordan Brown had 5.3 yards per carry. And you would think like, oh, maybe they got that on a lot of, one big play, and the rest of it was they got stopped a lot. No, James Gilbert's longest carry of the day was 26 yards, and Jordan Brown's longest carry of the day was 22 yards. Not to mention that their quarterback had 13 carries for 39 yards, which is only 3 yards per carry, but he had 4 rushing touchdowns. They literally ran Oklahoma out of the stadium in this game. So I'm going to highlight why that led to, or why Oklahoma struggled in that sense. So the Oklahoma rushing defense looked like they forgot how to play discipline versus the run. So I'm going to show you 2 plays that kind of show you the epitome of this in this game. So in the fourth quarter, 13-minute mark, 7 people are down on the line of scrimmage for Kansas State. 5 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks in the backfield as well, and a running back. So they have 4 people in the backfield total. At the snap, the line blocks in with all 7 people down. Naturally, that draws the front 7 in from Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the 2 fullbacks and the running back direct their attention to the right here, while 4 OU defenders notice this and they go that way because the line was blocking to the left. And so the 4 OU defenders say, oh, snap, like the blocking for the running back is going to the right. They're going away from us. Now, number 10 from Oklahoma does his job by sealing the edge here. The inside linebacker directly behind the left outside linebacker does his job here well also. He fills the C gap so that the running back, Gilbert, can't cut upfield for an easy touchdown. So far, so good. So the problem is that the other inside linebacker, Kenneth Murray, didn't pursue well to the next gap. He was nowhere to be found as Gilbert had a free run in the end zone. Kenneth Murray was caught in traffic and made no impact on the play. You'll notice that he tried to shortcut this by heading toward the C gap initially, but realized he was in trouble when running back number 6 continued to the outside. So he was too late to catch up at that point, and because of that, it was an easy touchdown because of a lack of execution. If he just did his job, then they would have stopped this play in the backfield. But unfortunately, when you don't do every little thing right, it can be taken advantage of by the offense. So I'm going to show you another play. Fourth quarter, 4 minutes, 58-second mark. They have 4 people in the backfield again, Kansas State does, although this time they don't have 2 tight ends on the line of scrimmage. So they go 5-on-5 at the line of scrimmage. Everyone on the Oklahoma defense did their job here except one person. Number 35 set the edge on the right side of the offensive line. The rest of the D-line and the right outside linebackers slanted to their right and maintained leverage as the offensive line shifted their blocking to the left. So once again, Kansas State is doing a little bit of kind of a misdirection thing, although I think the running back was going to follow the blocks this time. So Kenneth Murray filled his gap over there as well. He did his job like number 35 did. So this time Kenneth Murray's in the right. But he forces the running back Gilbert to cut back to the right as well. So the missing piece here on this play is that number 23 hadn't filled his gap yet inside of James Gilbert's cutback lane. So James Gilbert runs right through there and gets a nice 5-yard gain. So it's simple. You think, oh, it's just 5 yards. Whoa, so bad. The problem is they kept doing stuff like that throughout the game, and Kansas State maintained drives and was able to stay on the field longer, wear out the Oklahoma defense, and keep the Oklahoma offense off the field. The Oklahoma offense, I think, had 11 possessions total when they're used to getting like 14, 15 plus. And so when you take out that number of possessions and you're able to control the clock like Kansas State did, you have a chance of controlling the flow of the game. So Kansas State did this all game, and OU couldn't stop it due to the lack of execution. Simple things that you learn by having a disciplined defense, and things that they were typically, or they had started to learn how to do right this year, and they just seem to have regressed to their previous ways of doing things in this game. So Oklahoma's defense regressed to the previous year's version of themselves, and they can't afford to do this if they want to make a return to the playoffs. So my question for Oklahoma fans and those who watch them, what do you think about this? Do you believe Oklahoma will be able to right the ship? Do you think that they'll kind of get back on track here and get back to playing that aggressive, almost fundamentally sound defense that they were showing at the beginning of the season? What do you think? What are your expectations moving forward? Because the offense did well. Like, they may have struggled to start the game. Well, actually, they didn't really struggle to start the game. They actually did well up to a point, and then they kind of had a lull. But they can't afford to get behind like that if their defense is not going to help them out. And that was the real issue. What do you think? Leave in the comment section below. I'd love to talk about it. I'll see you next time.